Takumi gets reincarnated into another world and gets a gender equality believer elf who didn't just start crying when it is time to fight, a kitchen wench who handles his house chores, and a little FBI triggering brat. Takumi accidentally dies in his old world because the Mildgard nation used forbidden magic to summon the heroes from another world. While 3 people from Earth were summoned to another world, Takumi accidentally got caught up in their summoning and died. So the goddess of this world decided to send Takumi into the same world. But she sent him 1 year back in time so he could prepare before the Mildgard kingdom uses heroes and attacks other nations. She offers him to choose any skill he wants from the list, and Takumi decides to choose production. The goddess feels disappointed but lets him have it and throws him down to survive. Upon arriving in the new world, Takumi sees his in the water. He decides to forget about his past and checks for whatever resources he has. Takumi tries all the magic abilities he has before he starts walking to find a village. On his way, Takumi finds a damn useful log, so he uses his magic and turns it into a spear. He also sees some decent herbs and collects them all. While he's storing everything, a scrawny little girl comes running in fear because a crazy huge rabbit chases after her and attacks Takumi, but he gets dumb lucky and actually kills it. The half-girl explains why she's here, so he uses this opportunity and decides to go back with her. At the Sidonia Empire, the 3 students who got summoned feel confused. Suddenly, a sketchy lady appears and reveals a few things, calling all of them heroes from another world. They don't buy into her words, but the Empress introduces herself and shows her real face. The students are sure she's definitely up to something shady. Back at the village, the girl's parents thank Takumi for everything. He hopes he can live in the village for a while. The people are so nice, and they welcome him wholeheartedly. The craftsman shares that there's ore here too. He wonders where he should stay. They let him build a house for himself, which shocks the hell out of Takumi. With everyone's help, he's able to make almost everything he needs. Next, he turns into a damn blacksmith using the system window and uses all the iron and copper he gathered to make ingots. Takumi's alchemy comes in handy, and he succeeds, so he keeps on making more. Molly brings something to eat, but finds Takumi half-assed conscious on the floor. Later, the guy gets a long-ass lecture from Martha. After drinking a potion, he's finally able to continue, but this time, Martha keeps his dumb in check. Later, Takumi joins the blacksmith, Bobbin. After Takumi makes his finest blade. Since Takumi wants to be an alchemist, he finds Molly's father and asks him to lend some for free. With whatever he gets, Takumi starts cooking and ends up making a potion. But compared to what he was hoping, he guesses it's because he used the weird-ass magic water for his potion. Afterwards, Takumi enters the jungle and dumbly eats a poisonous plant without hesitation. His insides start tearing his ass apart, but Takumi is able to heal himself in time. His dumb stunt gets him poison resistance, so he's glad. Just when he's finally relieved, a huge bastard of a boar monster appears out of nowhere, ready to end his miserable life. Takumi throws all the magic up his sleeves, but nothing works. A spider comes out of the bushes. For some reason, it actually saves his sorry ass, but it's already too late. Takumi starts crying like a pathetic loser, but suddenly gets an idea, which actually works. The fat-ass boar finally goes down. He heals the little freak's leg. But before he heads back, the bug-eyed spider gets tamed and gives him pathetic puppy eyes. Hoping he'll take it back, Takumi folds like a dumb and starts calling it Maple. Back at the village, everyone's shook as hell to see the beefy-ass boar Takumi just hunted. They stress about the creepy-looking spider on his back, but he explains what's going on. The whole village feasts on meat, and Molly's father gives him the leftovers so he can sell them at the nearby city. Meanwhile, the nosy-ass goddess watches the whole show, and it turns out she sent him a few years back to the past. Takumi wakes up all over the place, while Maple sweats anxiously. The whiny little spider is feeling lonely, so Takumi apologizes and starts playing with it. Martha comes in and starts acting like a devious sees the spider's silk. Later, the village women make the best clothing out of Maple's silk. Martha shamelessly requests more from Maple. Takumi doubts the spider understands, but Maple pulls a cock at 180 and gets busy to show Takumi how it feels. Afterwards, he meets Bobbin, who gives him some damn nice armor to prepare for a fight. Even though he wants to be an alchemist, Bobbin wants him to be prepared. Banga comes in, and they both think they'll Takumi a lot. They set him up with a ride so his journey goes smoothly. Takumi is grateful. Takumi sees Martha on his way back and ends up purifying the food she's with. Martha's shocked he can use light magic. She explains how rare as it is, so he needs to keep it hidden. Over the next week, Takumi goes all out with his badass powers and rebuilds the whole village to pay for their kindness. On the final day, a stuck-up rich bastard pulls up in a carriage and meets Takumi after finishing his business with Banga. Before leaving, Takumi gives the villagers some potions, and their quality leaves. The whole village comes out to say their goodbyes. Maple's lays asleep during the whole thing. Before leaving, Martha gives Takumi a really damn cool cape. He's grateful for it. It's hard, but he eventually leaves them behind. During his journey, the mercenaries acknowledge the village of Takumi. They introduce themselves and explain they are bodyguards for the noble, but it's getting boring as since monsters barely show up. Seeing his special bag, they get curious, so Takumi shares that it's his damn baby spider. Maple gets scared because of the mercenary, but doesn't mind being in the arms of the gentle giant. The greedy noble wants to learn more about the healing potions. Takumi does, so he promises to sell a few. Papik suddenly stops the carriage. The mercenaries assume it's monsters and feel hyped as hell. They're finally getting some action. The goblins surround the carriage, ready to feast on their ass, but the mercenaries confidently destroy every last one of them. After that, their journey progresses peacefully. Takumi finally arrives at the new city, and since it's a requirement, he goes to the Adventurers Guild to register himself and his pet. The receptionist is actually pretty chill and shares useful information. Takumi finishes the job and meets up with Papik, the willing to pay for the potions. Takumi's shocked to hear the price, but Papik thinks he's not paying nearly enough. His words make our boy feel suspicious. Papik suggests he should get a home with a workshop. Takumi's too damn broke to buy one, but Papik rings a bell and instantly arranges something for him. Papik's sly man, Thomas, takes him to a huge mansion. It's hard for Takumi to believe, but he eventually thinks he can make this work. While walking back with Thomas, he gets hit with a rank smell. So Thomas explains the nobles purify their places, but the whole city's sewage system still sucks. The next day, Takumi finally moves in and makes a crazy plan. He goes all out with the magic and eventually burns himself. He drains his potions and guesses it was worth it. He finally finishes his beloved toilet seat. Just when he's celebrating, he hears ear-piercing screams coming from his mansion. He rushes out to find Papik stuck inside Maple's crazy Takumi scolds Maple, but surprisingly, Papik's having a blast inside the webs. Papik goes inside Takumi's restroom later and comes out screaming his dumb ass off, wondering what it is. Takumi explains everything and accidentally lets out that he can use light magic. He thinks he's in trouble, but Papik promises to keep it a secret as long as Takumi makes a few more of such toilet seats. With left, Takumi agrees and shares he was thinking about hiring people, but Papik suggests getting a damn slave who will keep things confidential. Takumi's not about that bull, but Papik explains what's going to happen if his secret leaks out. Takumi is still hesitant about slaves. Out of nowhere, the guild blows up his damn inbox and lets Takumi know he needs to finish a quest in order to become a member. Later, Takumi ends up going with Papik to a slave trader. While he's still feeling weird as hell, a beautiful blonde elf orders him to leave. The slave trader Mulan meets Takumi. Worried about the slave's conditions, but she explains that the slave's rights are prioritized. It turns out, it's completely different from what Takumi thought. She continues explaining how these people end up becoming slaves. Some are sold, some just want a half-ass living, while some are criminals trying to redeem themselves. Papik thinks war slaves are best for Takumi, and he tries reasons, but Milan shuts him up and lets Takumi speak for himself. He happily shares details about his work and says he needs to finish a task the Adventurers Guild assigned him. Since he lives in a huge mansion, he can't keep the whole place tidy alone. Milan realizes he needs 2 slaves. She calls Maria and reveals that the girl doesn't have any family, but she's educated and knows household work. Takumi talks to Maria, and she agrees to work. He wonders why someone hasn't bought such a cute-ass slave already. Maria's face turns red after hearing this, but she strictly lets him know that she's never going to sleep with him. Takumi anxiously clarifies, so they finally come to an agreement. Mulan finishes the deal but disappointingly tells Takumi she doesn't have another slave. Maria anxiously mentions Sophia, but Mulan finishes the deal, but Takumi's so damn curious he can't help it. He stays persistent, so Mulan takes him to meet up with Sophia. She explains that the elf was captured 50 years ago, but because of her scar and the extreme curse she possesses, no one has bought her since then. As the curse stops her from using basic magic abilities, Takumi wishes to speak with her, so she agrees, even though Sophia is hesitant. He introduces himself and grabs her face. She becomes embarrassed. He digs deeper and looks at her stats. They're just too damn good to let this opportunity slide. He lets Mulan know he wants Sophia as well. The slave reminds him about her curse, but he's confident he can just fix her. Mulan's pretty damn impressed but agrees. Later, she finishes the paperwork. Maria thanks Takumi for it before Mulan uses her magic to form the contract. Both slaves pledge their loyalty to him, and they all return to the mansion. Maple jumps onto his face, which of Sophia. Before she hurts Maple, Takumi clarifies it's his pet. He lets them have their own rooms and suggests they should go bathe. He has a purifier, so it doesn't matter who goes first. During their bath, Maria still can't believe what happened, but Sophia mentions Takumi's past is hidden, so she's still suspicious. Later, Takumi prepares food for everyone, but Maria cries as she feels useless as hell now. They're both shocked he's letting them eat together. He even lets them use his name. Sophia's suspicious, as he sounds too nice. The next day, Papik hands over whatever Takumi wanted. He heads back with them and sees a church on his way. Takumi thanks the goddess and wonders why she doesn't like the Sidonia nation. She surprises him by answering and explains it's because they don't worship him. He learns everything about the nation that accidentally summoned him. She thinks they're even, as she gave him her blessing, but the goddess shares her blessings going to wear out soon, so he needs to stay cautious. Takumi thinks back and remembers things have been going way too damn well so far, but from here on, he needs to take responsibility for his decisions. Somewhere else, the king asks about the heroes. His man reveals they've been working hard ever since they met Elizabeth. Outside, the heroes train hard to get strong, but despite Elizabeth's words, Akane doesn't want to train. She still thinks Elizabeth is. Takumi returns to the mansion but hides something from Sophia. He goes to his workshop and starts cutting himself to gain poison resistance. Sophia, nosy as hell, spies on him and hears him talk about Maria. She misunderstands and tries stopping him, but passes. He heals her and lets her rest. Maria tells him this happens to her a lot, so he uses his magic and somehow lifts the curse. He even heals her ugly ass ear. She wakes up pissed off, but Maria shows her she's healed now. Sophia meets up with Takumi afterward. He clarifies whatever he was doing at the workshop. She realizes she was wrong and cries her ass off. Seeing what kind of man he is, she pledges to stay loyal to him for her whole life. Even though it's such a huge library, Takumi is disappointed that it only has 4 books. He quickly realizes it's because only he understands the language, as he's a reincarnation. He returns home and sees Maria obsessing over how Sophia acted last night. Takumi gives an awkward ass smile. After finishing all the toilets, Takumi is damn glad. He's finally getting a break to do something else. Maria's curious, so he shares that he's thinking about leaving soon as he wants to explore and experience everything. He's thinking about taking Sophia and Maple while Maria holds the fort, but Maria feels weird as hell about it. He wants her to be safe, but she starts whining and somehow convinces him with her pathetic eyes. He takes a look at her stats and notices she's not half bad. Sophia agrees on training her, so things get settled. Later, they start getting prepared, so Sophia lists all the weapons she needs without hesitation. Maria's still unsure, but Sophia's cocky ass is happy to help her learn. After this, Takumi makes a few spears to train with. Both slaves train hard while he continues making real spears. Takumi even casts auto repair magic on his blades. After finishing the small blades for Maria, he imagines her thighs where she'll keep the blades. Takumi loses just thinking about it. For their armor, Takumi needs measurements, so to avoid awkwardness, he pulls out 2 identical dolls resembling his slaves. Bro's face looks deep, but Maple catches him, so he frantically tries to clarify. He takes his time and comes up with the most perfect Gotham outfit. Sophia and Maria feel comfortable in them. They're totally impressed and happy with the weapons too. He hands over rings they can use to cast magic. Sophia thinks he's too generous, but he doesn't mind it. After this, they head to the Adventurers Guild so Sophia and Maria can get registered. Takumi's willing to do a mission too. While they're looking at the charts, a few others appear and start hitting on Takumi's cute. He stands against them even though he's terrified. They try scaring him away, but he's persistent. Ugly guy attacks him. Takumi hardens his body and breaks the bastard's arm effortlessly, shocking everyone. Before the fight goes on, the guild master intervenes and starts questioning Takumi. Thinking he's behind this, Hans moves forward and defends Takumi. So the guild master kicks the worthless bastards out and takes our boy to his office to ask what he did. Hans realizes he was using magic, so Takumi reveals his secret. Hans and the guild master think about increasing their ranks, so these ugly losers stay away. They offer a few quests as well. Sophia and Maria happily agree, so they all go to the nearby jungle. As they're walking, Maple reports that there are 4 goblins, so Sophia rushes forward. Too. Maria and Takumi easily finish the other 2 as well. They continue their quest and keep encountering so many monsters for some reason. Sophia tells Takumi it's probably because there's a monster camp nearby with a strong-ass general on their side. It usually takes a lot of manpower to defeat such a monster, so Takumi gets scared. Sophia is dumbly confident they can handle it. Maria feels the same way while Maple looks down as she's about to evolve, so Takumi shoves her in his Gotham inventory. All 3 of them use their bad abilities to destroy the camp. Takumi thinks they've already won, but the goblin general appears, so Sophia bravely wrecks the little bastards while Takumi faces the general. He uses fire magic to finish the job. At the guild, Hans is speechless, seeing how fast they were. Later, the guild master finds out, but it's hard for him to believe. Maple comes out in a stupidly cute, evolved form. Hans goes and prepares their reward. At the mansion, Maria wants some new undergarments. She's shy but lets our boy handle it. Papik comes out of nowhere and informs Takumi that the Lord wants to see him. He's hesitant but has no choice, so he meets up with the Lord, who shows his gratefulness and keeps bowing his head. He warns Takumi about the kingdom of Sidonia. Takumi feels mentally drained, but Maple comes out with the Gotham undergarment material. The guy becomes so over it, but it takes him days to finish them. His slaves' faces turn red as hell when they think about trying them on. Takumi loses just imagining them in it.